The other day, you know who leaked the footage of the 60 Minutes interview he stormed out of before it airs this Sunday night. Because he felt he was being questioned and it wasn't the same kind of questions that Joe Biden gets, so he's really upset. So what do you think, Anna? Who's going to come out better? I think Leslie Stahl is going to come out really well for this. But what's your thought? Who do you think really will benefit?
Absolutely. Look, it's like when he tweets against a book that somebody writes. It's the best gift he could give that author. I think this is the best gift he could give Leslie Stahl and CBS. More people are going to tune in to see what the big deal is. I watched the entire interview yesterday that he released, 30-some minutes. I didn't see what the big deal was. I mean, he really is complaining about nada. He's like a colicky baby with a persecution complex and paranoia. You know, it's funny because they love to attack people as being snowflakes. And I'm looking at this interview thinking, dude, who's the snowflake here? It's not Leslie Stahl. Yeah. And then Whoopi, what I love the best was, so they do this thing where they give Leslie Stahl this huge book with his big, beautiful health care plan. And when Leslie Stahl opened it, it was a blank page.
Nothing in the book. Ciao. Sarah, did you...
Well, he also starts the interview saying, when she says, "Are you ready for some tough questions?" he said no. So maybe we got what we had... that he warned us about. But I think the big thing is, I think anyone watching this, is kind of like the debates. If you ask two different groups of people, most people are going to walk away, you know, thinking she didn't ask, you know, well, he does what he does, and his base is going to say this is the left-leaning biased media, and this is what they do. So I don't think it's going to change a lot of minds. It's going to drive people to view. But the one thing is about anyone doing an interview that I always find interesting in these divided times is an interview is supposed to be a vehicle for information, not the information itself. So someone's supposed to push back just enough, but sometimes a non-answer is an answer. And when people decide to give you a campaign speech, like Mike Pence often does with his answers, that's the answer. And you have to leave some of this up to the viewers to see what they're going to see and walk away from that. But I ultimately think this is going to make people like me just want to tune in more to see the entire interview and how it plays out.
Well, it's crazy. I don't know why he would release it. I mean, why do you think he did that, Sonny? Because is he trying to get back at CBS to punish them? I mean, what do you think that's about?
I think it was about sort of, you know, taking the sting out of it, you know, trying to poison the proverbial well. I don't think it worked. I really think it backfired on him, primarily because what we saw, like Anna kind of described, was this colicky, petulant child. It was like the emperor wasn't wearing any clothing. I watched it too. You know, I watched the full 37 minutes. I also watched clips of Pence's interview. And what struck me was that, you know, Pence may be a slicker politician, but he's cut from the same cloth. He also didn't answer any questions. And what was also very striking to me is that Trump dodged every single question about the coronavirus. And we know that he is the largest source of information about the coronavirus. There have been studies, and he just refuses to take any responsibility. And there's a report that just came out by Columbia that said, had he handled it better, it could have saved up to over 200,000 lives. So those people that are saying he's not responsible for the death of 200,000 plus Americans, well, he is, because he mishandled this pandemic. And that was just woeful. It was just so clear when you watch the 37 minutes, just that little clip. I think that everyone's going to tune in and see that.
I want my 37 minutes back.
I'm laughing because I know Joy, because I know Joy is like, I can hear Joy screaming at the television. Are you going to watch, Joy?
All I want to say about this topic, and then I really want to go to the next topic, and about this one is, when the going gets tough, Donald Trump has bone spurs. That's all I have to say.